What's up, y'all? Hey, thanks for finding our channel. That's pretty cool. And we'll be talking to you a lot more, doing a lot more content. There's just so much to talk about now. It's, of course, one of the reasons I came back. Maybe we'll be able to jack this channel up enough to where you can actually find it on YouTube. But in the meantime, you know, Jack Blood, then you put in Deadline Live TV, all one word. I guess you found it because you're here. Of course, behind me you can see I'm in Seattle, and they've been chemtrailing us today with fake clouds. And it's weird. I watch all this stuff, and I'm right by two airports, Boeing and SeaTac. So if you probably hear as we're doing this, you'll catch the noise of planes popping over us. But the actual fake clouds, call them what you want, chemical trails, let's admit the truth, chemicals come out of airplanes, whether they're nefarious or not. Those generally are coming from military airports across Puget Sound. So, you know, I'm just sitting here thinking, well, maybe that's why we don't have any whistleblowers, because you're going to be signed up for some pretty heavy national security if you have any knowledge of doing something like that, which of course we've seen the powers that be, both academically, politically, on the business level, people like Bill Gates and others, talking about how they're going to use these fake clouds in order to save us from global warming. It's just another really bad conclusion to a problem that is rather complicated. Of course, we can look at the graphs and we could see that there are periods of global warming, or not global warming, but, well, yeah, sure, warming, cooling. You know, you can track this, and they've done just a significant amount of research studying glaciers and whatnot, and flora, etc. And they're able to, you know, pretty much determine, you know, what years were warm, what were high. You could see huge spikes in both colder and warmer. And I think one of the things that, whether you're a skeptic or not, a conclusion you would come to, and this is what we know through history, as we take a parallel linear line from history to science, is that people do better with the warmer weather. They grow food, there's less disease, less famine. Of course, if you're in severe droughts right now, you're probably not loving it, and I've been there myself. It is definitely a little bit scary, but what proof do we have that this, whether it's weather modification or whether it's some kind of sunscreen to protect us from the sun, and I'm talking about fake clouds, because you can see pretty much, I'll show you right now, see all that, how you can see it, how wispy everything is, and then we've just got direct trails. There's one right above me there. That'll be a cloud soon, and the bluest skies you've ever seen in Seattle will be the whitest skies you've ever seen in Seattle. It sounds, I'm not going to use the R word, because I guess I got to be careful what I do here on YouTube. In general, I've already got they went back in history. This is another crazy thing, so I'll just move right along and talk about something else that's kind of pissing me off, and that's the fact that I'm getting strikes, I'm getting punished and losing YouTubes from 10 or more years ago, because the things that we were allowed to say then, we're not allowed to say now. So retroactively, they are punishing me for that, and they're also punishing me for copyright strikes. This is why it's really important you support us. I'm getting copyright strikes for playing, 10 seconds of bumper music, which, if I'm a band, I kind of like that promotion. I actually played those on radio stations who did pay the BMI ASCAP fees, and then they were reposted on YouTube or on the internet. And I just don't understand really why, if you have a radio station and you pay $100 or maybe $500 or whatever the fee is going to be to BMI or ASCAP. I'm actually a member of ASCAP myself. Don't get very much money from them, if at all. And I don't think too many other people do either. So that's just a whole nother scam. But why are we able to play bumper music and whatever music we want in bars and on the radio, but almost nothing now without them coming after you and giving you copyright strikes for 10 seconds, 20 seconds of bumper music? And that's all you're going to hear in the videos I've been kind of punished for. So we're going to be a little bit careful, I guess, on YouTube. But one of the things we can do is put something like this on YouTube and then something that's going to be maybe just a little bit more radical, we can go ahead and put that on Rumble. We're just right in the process now of doing a Rumble account. We've got a great show, a live show for you tomorrow, so I hope you guys check it out on Ochelli.com. Ochelli.com, Ochelli. It's usually in the titles when I do things. It's definitely mentioned here on the YouTube page that we have. Just a top producer in Gordon Raphael will be joining us. It's kind of our new format. We're doing musicians and people and artists in half hour in the first hour, and then kind of weaving that into topical discussion. Because I do have a lot of musicians that listen to our show. And then, we do my opening rant, which we'll always do for the first half hour. And then, I know, I got a big white beard. Hi, how's it going? And yeah, and then I think we have Penny Freeman on tomorrow. She used to be Ron Paul's campaign manager when he was a congressman in Texas. They were pretty much undefeated until he finally retired. Speaking of the Pauls, Rand Paul, a sitting senator, has now been doxxed by Zelensky in Ukraine. They've just had a real crazy week. Going to be a lot to talk about there on the show tomorrow, along with Tulsi Gabbard and Doug McGregor and anyone else, I guess, who's not agreeing with the official story. But when we're talking about, censoring, doxing, and literally calling a sitting senator, as in Rand Paul, a traitor, we've got to push back on that. Whether that would be our own government, whether that would be tech, media, what have you. Of course, none of that's getting censored. I know Rand has had a heck of a time. Good luck trying to find him on YouTube. Anything recent at all, and he does a lot of media, so I find that pretty disturbing. They did the same thing to Tulsi Gabbard, who is active military, and of course called her a Russian traitor, a Putin a puppet, and a propagandist, and taking orders from Putin and Hillary Clinton and everyone else that did that as she was running for president. Good way to stop her from beating Joe. I just think of where we'd be right now. Whether you like or love Tulsi Gabbard, I know we'd be better off right now if she was president of the United States. It's pretty hard to disagree with that, and she would have put up a pretty good fight. If you like Trump or not, would have been a pretty tough decision for a lot of people. I know a lot of people on the right wing who really like what Tulsi Gabbard does, but she's another one that is getting doxxed by Ukraine right now for warning us about rushing into potential nuclear war and using Ukraine as a proxy. So a lot to talk about tomorrow on the live show. I'll leave you guys with all of that, and hopefully you'll like this video. Hopefully you'll subscribe. Hopefully you'll hit the notification button. And we'll be doing some live audio content here and there also on this channel. So we've kind of got it figured out. Appreciate y'all. Please donate to keep us going. As you can see, I could use a video camera and some decent studio setup. So it's not so shaky. Hopefully this isn't giving anyone seizures. You can do that and support us always. Any amount of money, $5, $10, any kind of karma, to jackblood@hotmail.com. Pretty simple to remember. Yes, I still have a Hotmail account. jackblood@hotmail.com. And use PayPal for that. I also accept Zelle, and that's the same email address, jackblood@hotmail.com. Right now, anyone donating over $50 gets a very limited edition blood donor t-shirt. We're making those right now. We'll send those out to you as soon as they're done. Thanks again for listening, and as always, stay bold.